All right, this is Group 13. We are presenting our second project or case study, and it is on Larry Williams versus Southern Union Gas. So the background is we have a case between a man named Larry Williams and Southern Gas, Union Gas, and basically this case is very similar, or basically a civil rights case in which Larry claims that there is unlawful discrimination towards him because of his religion. A little background is that Larry originally has been working for Southern Gas for I think about 9 years, and then one day he decides to join a religion. He joins the church called Worldwide Church of God, and they recognize their Sabbaths on Friday. Oh, not Fridays, Saturdays. So it starts Friday at sundown and ends Saturday at sundown. So it's like a Jewish Sabbath, you could call it. When he converted to this religion, he talked to Southern Union Gas and asked that he could get Saturdays off so he could be in compliance with his belief that he should not work on the Sabbath day. The thing is, when he first started working for Southern Union Gas, he agreed that he could work any day of the week. And because it's a utilities company, it must run 7 days a week. Even though Larry had this request, the company did its best to maintain a standard for Larry that he would not have to work on Saturdays so he could be in compliance with his religious beliefs. So the real problem comes a year afterwards of him converting. There's a pipeline project that they were working on, and the project needed to be finished on October 3rd. But the thing was that Larry requested the Thursday off because it was a religious holiday. So his boss agreed to let Larry have Thursday off, but if the project wasn't finished by Friday, the next day, that he'd have to come in and work on Saturday, his Sabbath. Larry agreed, believing that the job would be completed and that he would not have to work on Saturday. The problem was that on the second Friday, October 2nd, which was a Friday, the job wasn't completed, and Larry was required to come in on Saturday. Larry disagreed on showing up to work. Well, did not show up to work, even though he agreed to. And his boss and others had to work on the project. In consequence, Southern Union Oil fired Larry for not showing up and reporting to work on Saturday like he agreed. So Larry decided to sue Southern Union Gas. Larry felt like he was unlawfully fired because of his religious beliefs. Larry also believed that the ultimate decision on what is an emergency and what requires him to come in on work on a Sabbath is up to him and not what the company believes. Larry also used Title VII of the Civil Rights Act of the 1960s in his argument that there's discrimination based off his religious beliefs. Larry also claimed that the pipeline completed on October 3rd was not an emergency and did not require him to go in for work. The Southern Union's defense was that public utilities are needed and need to be running every day, and the work that is required to be completed by deadlines are necessary to do this. Larry also agreed to work on the Saturday if he got Thursday off. And there are also no other workers really available to cover the shifts on Saturday. And it also cut into others' vacation time because they had to come in and work. Let me see. So that was Southern Union's defense. There were other past cases used in determining the outcome of this case. There was Cummins versus Parker Seal, Williams versus Eaton, Keyes versus School. I would say Cummins versus Parker Seal is very similar to this case. And in Parker's versus Seal, the defendant won and was not found discriminatory towards Cummins. In William versus Eaton, also the defendant Eaton won, and basically the court just decided to be neutral on the whole case and shouldn't be involved with religious matters. Keyes versus School was where actually the plaintiff won, and it was because the schools were found to be discriminating versus Hispanics and blacks. And because there's intent of discriminations, the plaintiffs won. So these three cases were used in determining the outcome of this case. So the case decision was that they found the defendants non-discriminatory to Larry, and rather they were very accommodating to his religious needs. So that means that Union Gas did not violate the Civil Rights Act of 1964. In the comparison to previous cases, the ruling was in line with Cummings versus Parker Seal and Williams versus Eaton. So they felt like there wasn't any intent of discrimination like there was found in the previous case involving the school district, but rather it was very similar to Cummins versus Parker Seal and Williams versus Eaton, where there was no discrimination and that both parties were, well, the defendant was rather accepting and understanding of the situation. The religious application is that there are two types of laws. Well, not two types of law. There's the law of the gospel and all these commandments, and we could live the letter of the law or we can live the spirit of the law. And in this case, I feel like Larry was trying to live the letter of the law instead of the spirit of the law. There are times where we need to follow the commandments exactly, but also we need to go within the letter of the law. I mean, within the spirit of the law. An example is when I was on my mission, we had to be home at 9 o'clock. But if we were in a really amazing lesson and the spirit was there and it was present and it was helping us help this person come unto Christ, under the spirit of law, it's okay that we made it home at 9:15 instead of 9 o'clock. Yeah, we didn't follow the letter of the law and get home exactly at 9, but under the spirit of the law, we had the right intent of being obedient. And what we were doing was of greater purpose and greater intent of being at home exactly at 9 o'clock. I think Larry could understand that at times he must work on the Sabbath, and it's not because he's being disobedient or he has the intent to be disobedient, it's just that he's required to and he has to. And that him working on Sunday is a blessing to others as well. So more than anything, we need to be more like Christ and not focus on the letter, but more on the spirit of the law and what's right.